Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Taylor Watts from Watts Investing, and today we are updating our spreadsheets, giving you guys the update on the portfolio, and doing our challenge for August. It's a little later than usual, just been busy with university, and COVID lockdown has been a bit weird to handle with university changing a bunch of test times and putting everything online and then back in person. It's been quite the runaround. But we're getting back into it, and in our last video back in July we had 217 subscribers. Now we're at 227, so that means we put $1 per subscriber into our kind of subscriber stock challenge, which is Triple M. So we've put in $10 into here to start off the video. And if you want to be a part of this challenge, just hit the subscribe button, and every month I update it, put money in depending on where it goes. And if I get any referrals, I match it and put in $5 from that and an extra $5, so 10 per referral into Triple M. And we chose Triple M as it's just a kind of one of those dividend growth investing companies. It's been growing its dividend for years. I can't remember the exact number, but it's up there in the 40s or 50s. One of those just dividend kings, essentially. And yeah, so we'll view the chart and show where the portfolio has been going recently. So all time, starting at small, getting up there and having a bit of bump with the first COVID, and just a bit of different market changes here. Then in the year point of view, just getting a bit of closer look and some dips. And then there is a little dip in the grey there, because I think when I sold one of my stocks, I took out like $50 to buy some Bitcoin. Yeah, but then from then on, we've just been investing pretty consistently as usual, and that's that. Our return is sitting around the same spot it has for a bit, bounces around between 19 and 23%. It drops a bit, obviously, when I put a bit more money in, as that fresh investment has had no time to essentially sprout from its newly planted seed. Yeah, we'll give the portfolio a slow scroll through just to see if you notice any changes, essentially. Nothing really through Triple M, A2, Google, Amazon, or Facebook. They're kind of just sitting where they are. But Apple, we are working towards our goal of owning 8 shares by the end of the year. We're getting pretty close. I think we just need to invest about $12 a week until the end of the year, and we'll get there. So that's pretty sweet. We've been adding a bit more into AT&T. Don't think we've done anything with Chorus recently, maybe a few dollars. We've put a bit more into Coca-Cola, as they've got a dividend coming up in October and possibly a dividend raise. And then we've just been keeping the consistency with the rest of the companies. We've put a bit more on Fisher & Paykel recently over the past 2 months, as their price dropped a bit, so I saw that as maybe an opportunity to average down. Bought a covered call ETF, just because it's a high dividend monthly thing, giving that another go, just with a little bit of money to see if we can have some fun with that. We've put in maybe a little bit recently in Hallensteins, as it did have a wee dip, so I took that as an opportunity to get it a bit cheaper than I saw its value. So now we've put in a total of $800, and we should be seeing a pretty big dividend up in December, when it should be about, I don't know how much we've added since April, but quite a bit, so should be expecting mid-30s in dividend from there. I've added a bit into the S&P 500, just using that as a bit of a safety barrier on some of our other investments. And then, yeah, haven't touched Mainfreight for a bit, as it has soared to quite a high price from when I was buying it. I'm going to have a kind of a second look at that, see its value, and see why it has surged like 20-25% up from my last buy, to see if it's still worth putting money there or if there's better opportunities elsewhere. We've put a little bit more into McDonald's and Microsoft recently, because the next quarter coming up is generally when they raise their dividends, so I was trying to get ahead of that, like other people. NZX we've bought a bit recently, as it's been on the drop, so I might even buy some more if it does keep dropping, just because the yield's looking not too bad, and yeah, it's just NZX for New Zealand is pretty good. And yeah, we haven't done too much with Pepsi or Procter & Gamble recently. We've added a lot into Realty Income Corp, and we'll be adding probably some more as it has had this wee drop. So I took advantage of that, trying to get those dividends up and trying to compound our portfolio essentially. Spark's got a dividend coming up either this month or next, I think. So that should be pretty exciting. That'll be about $5. We've got Somerset just performing pretty well. Haven't really done too much since July, August. Have to have another look at that. That's another one like Mainfreight. Tesla, we've been working towards our goal, just consistently investing and watching the market. So if it does have a wee drop, do try to get ahead of it. And just keeping our eyes on it and keeping up with the news to see if any possible missed opportunities there. I haven't touched Trustpower in ages, just holding it for those dividends and just any opportunity if I want to buy more or sell it. If something else pops up, it's there to be as it is. Vanguard, we've just been doing the dollar cost averaging pretty much, as that's another thing to diversify. Visa, we've put in a little bit as it's had a wee drop here, so taking advantage of that. Same with MasterCard and Disney, we've kind of just consistently done it where we want to. I see this being a cool opportunity in the future, especially with technology and self-driving cars. It's a good opportunity for entertainment platforms to earn a bit more money and concurrent customers, as people won't have to focus on driving so much, but that's a more future play than present. And then Westpac, I think we just put in a few extra dollars as it had this wee drop from its high, and hopefully the dividend coming up should be a pretty big one as well. So yeah, that's our slow scroll through of the portfolio and any buys and possible sales we've been doing. And yeah, so that's the portfolio update essentially. We'll go through the spreadsheet, look at those dividends and everything, and I'll quickly look over at Hatch with our other 2.2 shares of Tesla. So they're performing really well. If we look at the full time, we started buying back in July. The price dropped 15% a few days after I bought it, so I was like, because I started researching, well, this is when my account, I assume, started, so I started researching Tesla before then, and used this whole time here to decide if I was going to buy it, if it was the right choice. This waiting did cost me a lot of money, as Tesla price did go up a lot, but that is mostly in hindsight, of course. As I had to wait to have full confidence in the purchase. So then it dropped 15% after that full confidence. So I was like, okay, definitely buying more. And then somewhere around here is when Sharesies introduced US shares. I was going to wait. So I think about here I was ready to buy. So I was like waiting. And then I was like, nah, it's stupid to wait. So I'm glad I didn't wait, as I probably missed out on a big opportunity there. But I think Sharesies did introduce US shares somewhere around September or October, maybe even end of August. That's when we started putting all our money into Tesla on Sharesies, and we're just holding this for the long run, of course. And it's just super performer, 135%, 131 if you minus the fees. Probably if we do eventually sell that in the future, it'll drop maybe 1% or something to the fees of selling. Yeah, that's that. Our portfolio total is looking about $14,000 plus Hatch is just over $16,000 now. So that is looking super sweet. So we'll hop into our more dividends graph and give them a wee nosy. I think for the total of August, it was very far away from our guesses. My guess was probably pretty misleading to you guys if you're copying me and using it as a guideline, because I think I completely got the months mixed around for dividends. So August we only got $9.41, and my guess was something like $19.50. So that was pretty embarrassing, seeing that massive miss on that guess. But I think it's because September or October has a lot of dividends coming in, and I, for some reason, thought that was coming in August or something. So I very overinflated my guess, and it sat at 9.41, which is still great. It's above our average currently, and we'd love to see that. And September's already starting off at 1.49. I think we do have a few coming in, so we'll get onto my guess pretty soon. And our total dividends received is heading up to the 250 range, and our average dividends received per month is just growing and growing. As we can see by those trend lines, super sick. And these dividends per month will, I assume by the end of next year, will kind of be flat above this $20 line, or maybe even the year after that, because we're not having very small months anymore. Like, I think January might be our smallest month so far of $2.32. And by the end of next year, so January 2023, I think we'll be getting over $2.32 just from our monthly dividends of realty income and those bonds, which is pretty exciting, really. So we'll put this number into the chart. So we've got $9.41 for August, and that updates our quarter 3 earnings. So now quarter 3 is looking at $16.52. So that's looking about the medium range of quarter 1 here and quarter 2 here. So we've had a lot of different changes in our portfolio as we're learning about investing, changing our strategies, and you're just learning as we go a lot. As we started, we were buying a lot of ETFs, a lot of different NZ things, which are performing pretty well still. I think I looked back at them and looked at when I bought them and stuff like that and compared the possible gains, and I think I am beating some of those things, which is super cool. And I expect to beat them massively in the future, especially where I see some companies that I have bigger holdings in, like Tesla and Apple. Our total dividends is heading towards beating here. I think Hallensteins will be a big pusher, and Westpac, of course, and a few other bigger ones like Spark being like $5, I think. So we're at 103 currently, and I think our goal for the end of the year is 222, 222. So if we do get $35 from Hallensteins, that'll push this to 140. And then I think we have a lot of other dividends, and there's still another quarter or two. I think if they're paying in September, they'll pay in December as well. So we do have a lot of dividends still coming in. I think we will get very close to our goal, even though it doesn't look like it since we are way past halfway through the year. But I think lots of our money is going to come in at the end with that Hallensteins dividend, of course. And then our month-on-month comparison is looking super cool now. I added in the numbers. They may be a bit hard to see. I may change the contrast here and make it a bit darker on the background, but you can see here just the staircase of dividends going from 0 up a bit. Same here. Just these staircases all getting bigger and bigger as we go. So we're up to August now, and most of the dividends for 2019 were pretty small apart from December, and of course June is the other semi-annual time that they paid. And this is pretty much all from Hallensteins again back here and here. And September may be the first month, I guess, in 2021 where the yellow bar's not higher, because Hallensteins push their dividend from June, which is their normal time, as you can see here, or April even, possibly. They pushed it because of COVID all the way to September. So this may make September look a bit weird, and it may skew our guess a bit again, but it'll be interesting to see. And but this goal here is actually looking pretty possible now that we look at these red bars, because we'd assume that the dividends this year will be mostly bigger than last year. Maybe not this month, of course, that we were just talking about, but that's 11 and 5 there, so that's like 16 plus that is looking at 70, so we're already pretty close with that, and it's meant to be bigger. November should be a lot bigger. October, I think, should be a lot bigger. September, it's going to be a hard guess. I think I will miss the mark by far again, because we will have Triple M. I think Apple at some point this year again. Microsoft just paid. Realty Income Corp through all of this. The other monthly ones, Spark, Chorus, Contact, Meridian. We've got all these companies that have multiple dollars of dividends for each one, so it's very hard to get the range right. But we're very far off on August guess. For September, I'm gonna just go for the unlucky for some 13, because I think that's funny. So we'll go for that. If you want to leave a guess in the comments, I'm all ears. have a go. If you do beat me, get closer to the dividend for the month, I will give your channel a shout out, or any other business platform that you want me to shout out. If you've got a website or a small business or anything, just leave a comment below and I'll check it out. But you do have to beat me, which is sometimes not so hard like last month. I think I still was the closest if we do look at the last video here. So yeah, about 20 and 20, yeah, so both guesses went higher than me, and obviously I was $10 higher than the actual number there, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of our challenge update for the month. Sorry about it being a bit late, just been caught up with things, but just means you get to see me sooner for the end of September, so we'll try to get that video out at the start of October. I think I've finished lots of the big assignments by then, so I should have a little bit more free time to get a video out. And should be a pretty exciting month, and I'll probably do another Earth 2 progress update. I know this video is a little controversial because Earth 2 it's a pretty weird platform so far. I still don't know if it's legit, because just the way the creation of it is going is really weird, because they got tons of money from it. They've made money very well, but the way they're developing the game platform, or whatever you want to call it, is just not where I'd expect it to be going with how much money and how much time they've had. It's kind of like they've done not much and they've got such high expectations on them. And I just see other platforms like Facebook, Epic Games, Microsoft or Google or something just hitting the mark way faster, way better than they are, and not doing it in such a money grab way that they're doing it. They're kind of releasing these little features that don't really do anything, that cost money and has an incentive of buying stuff early. It's very weird what they're doing. But I may give a progress update, just because I have got all of my investment out and I've still got some stuff left over from the gains, so it's just something to muck around with now, and I guess have a wee update video every once in a while, so we'll talk about that. I may do a video on buying a house, because recently I have obviously got this new spreadsheet line here, and I've just been kind of, as I'm finishing my degree and working into maybe a full-time career pretty soon, going to have to start thinking about how I'm going to get into the property industry, and if it's even possible doing it myself, or if I need to try and make some deals with family, friends or something like that, or if it's even possible. I've done the numbers on a lot of things and got some charts going and stuff, and expectations, inflation and stuff like that, and might do a video on that if I want that to be public stuff. Don't know yet. Of course, this is now done, and we'll get on to September in about 2-3 weeks. But yeah, this has been Taylor Watts from Watts Investing. Cheers for catching up, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy investing.